Only about 30% of babies in the United States are exclusively breastfed through 3 months. That number drops to 10% when it comes to babies exclusively breastfed through 6 months. Why is this surprising, you may ask? Because it has been proven over and over again that breastfeeding your baby is the best option. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends breastfeeding for at least the first 6 months of a baby's life. Breastfeeding lowers your baby's risk of SIDS, reduces your chances of battling postpartum depression, and protects your baby from a long list of illnesses. Sudden infant death syndrome, also called SIDS, is the leading cause of death among infants aged 1 month to 1 year. SIDS describes any unexplained death, usually during sleep, of a healthy baby. More than 45,000 infants die each year in the United States from SIDS. While these numbers are alarming, the likelihood of SIDS decreases by 60% for infants who have received any amount of breast milk for any duration of time. Ten to 15% of new mothers will suffer from some sort of postpartum depression. Breastfeeding reduces your risk. Breastfeeding naturally relaxes you. It allows you to connect and bond with your child. This instantly lifts your mood. Nursing also releases oxytocin. Oxytocin gives your brain a feel-good feeling. It also reduces the stress hormone cortisol. All these factors combined reduce postpartum depression. While reducing SIDS and postpartum depression is reason enough to breastfeed, breastfeeding also protects your baby from a long list of illnesses. Numerous studies from around the world have shown that stomach viruses, lower respiratory illnesses, ear infections, and meningitis occur less often in breastfed babies. They are also less severe when they do happen. The main immune factor at work here is a substance called immunoglobulin A, IgA. This is present in large amounts in colostrum. Colostrum is the first milk your body produces for your baby. The substance guards against invading germs by forming a protective layer on the mucous membranes in your baby's intestines, nose, and throat. This continues as long as you continue to breastfeed. IgA is produced in response to what the mother is exposed to, in turn protecting the baby. I would now like to read an excerpt from The More I Learn About Breast Milk, the More Amazed I Am, by Angela Garbs. To produce breast milk, mothers melt their own body fat. Are you with me? We literally dissolve parts of ourselves, starting with gluteofemoral fat, aka our butts, and turn it into liquid to feed our babies. Before and after giving birth to my daughter 10 months ago, I was inundated with urgent directives from well-meaning, very insistent health practitioners, parenting book authors, mommy bloggers, journalists, and opinionated strangers that breast is best. The message was clear. In order to be a good mom, I had to breastfeed. But breastfeeding is more than being a good mom, and breast milk is much more than food. It's potent medicine and simultaneously a powerful medium of communication between mothers and their babies. It's astonishing. And it should be. The recipe for mother's milk is one that female bodies have been developing for 300 million years. Breastfeeding leads to better overall health outcomes for children, which is why the World Health Organization and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend that babies be exclusively breastfed through at least 6 months. Compelling to me are the straightforward facts about breast milk. It contains all the vitamins and nutrients a baby needs in the first 6 months of life. And it has many germ and disease-fighting substances that help protect a baby from illness. Also, the nutritional and immunological components of breast milk change every day, according to the specific individual needs of a baby. Yes, that's right, and I'll explain how it works in a minute. Not nearly enough information is provided by doctors, lactation counselors, or the internet about this mind-blowing characteristic of milk. Nutritionally, breast milk is a complete and perfect food, an ideal combination of protein, fats, carbohydrates, and nutrients. Colostrum, the thick golden liquid that first comes out of a woman's breast after giving birth, is engineered to be low in fat but high in carbs and protein, making it quickly and easily digested for newborns in urgent need of its contents. Breastfed babies have lower instances of colds and viruses. When they do get sick, they are often able to recover more quickly because the mother's body produces antibodies specific to the baby's infection. This is an idea that has literally kept me up for hours at night. How exactly is my body able to write my daughter a prescription for her illness without a diagnosis? According to Hen, when a baby suckles out its mother's breast, a vacuum is created. Within that vacuum, the infant's saliva is sucked back into the mother's nipple, where receptors in her mammary gland read its signals. This baby spit backwash, as she delightfully describes it, contains information about the baby's immune status. Everything scientists know about physiology indicates that baby spit backwash is one of the ways that breast milk adjusts its immunological composition. If the mammary gland receptors detect the presence of pathogens, they compel the mother's body to produce antibodies to fight it, and those antibodies travel through breast milk back into the baby's body, where they target the infection. At the same time that it is medicine, the breast milk is a private conversation between mother and child. While my daughter lacks words, breastfeeding makes it possible for her to tell me exactly what she needs. The messages we are sending each other are literally made of ourselves, and they tell us about what is going on in our lives at that very moment. My hope today is that from knowing that breastfeeding lowers the chances of sudden infant death syndrome and postpartum depression, and protects your baby from illnesses among other things, that you realize that breastfeeding is certainly the best. Thank you.